Hello there, I am Baron Bones, and today we talk about Lee Cronin's The Mummy. This is the latest attempt at a mummy movie, directed and written by Lee Cronin, and it's quite different. This time around, we follow a couple whose eldest daughter gets kidnapped while they're in Egypt. 8 years later, she's found in a sarcophagus and is horribly malformed. Of course, the doctors, after such a long time of her being, kidnapped and probably going through severe traumatic incidences, decide, yeah, she's okay to go home immediately. Anyway, this leads to some horrific events as their daughter is not quite what she appears to be. So yes, this is a very different take on the mummy. And I'm gonna come back to that because it leads to some of my issues. But before I get into that, what does this movie do well? Well, it's not a bad story overall. It actually has some decent twists and turns, I felt like. And the gross out horror and the way that it's shot and done is quite well done. And I really enjoyed the overall feel of the film. The characters and performances are all solid. So all around, this is a solid movie. But I have a couple complaints. Let's start with the fact that this film overuses the split diopter shot. Now, I have seen Lee Cronin's other film, Evil Dead Rise, and I love it. And he uses that shot a lot in that film, too. But here, I feel like it's just a tad bit overused. So, it just kind of distracted me from the overall feel of the film. Every time it would come up, at first I thought it was cool, but as the film went on, I felt like we probably should step away from using that. Unfortunately, he just uses it again and again and again. Then there's my other problem, and this is my big one. This doesn't feel like a mummy movie. Now, let me explain. Yes, I understand that this is a classic tale. You could do whatever you want with it, and redefining a classic is part of what makes film so interesting. However, what I mean by that is there is nothing really signaturely Egyptian about this story, other than the fact that she's found in a sarcophagus, goes missing in Egypt, and the story does involve a lot of, the wrappings and what was written on them. But other than that, there's really no ties to Egyptian mythology here, and what little ties there are feel haphazard at best. At the end of the day, this is a demon possession movie, disguising itself as a mummy movie. And I have problems with that. I mean, you take away the title The Mummy, and you make someone watch this film and ask them if they thought this was a mummy movie, they are going to say no. There is nothing here that really feels like a mummy movie. And I'm not sure why it even is called that. It could be called half a dozen other things that are more accurate to the title, and it would have worked better. And what's annoying about this is there's no need to tie it to the mummy, as, well, like I said, the film is decently solid. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not like it's a special movie or anything. I really just think it's good. I don't think there's anything fantastic about it. But I really feel like they shot themselves in the foot by giving this film this title. However, I do recognize that this might just be my creative opinion, which is why I won't hurt overall when I talk about it. At the end of the day, I do recommend seeing this one. It is a solid movie all around, decent scares, and it is quite thrilling. And if you liked Lee Cronin's previous film, Evil Dead Rise, I think you'll like this film. It's, like I said, just good. Nothing great about it, but just solid, and at the end of the day, that's not bad. Anyway, that's my opinion on the Mummy. What do you think about it? Let me know in the comments below, and if you like this review, please like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, stay terrified.